I didn't give a 2-minute warning today like normal. We're all so calm and the coffee just got there. So I'm just going to talk with you guys for a little bit. I know you're going to get your coffee. You're going to settle in, finish up your conversation. So while we're doing that, I'll just do my normal thing. We started the live already. So today we have one educational piece today. We don't have our typical two presenters. But I was just explaining to a couple of the newbies what 1 million cups is. So we always want to make sure as organizers that the people that walk in the door know where they are, that they're in the right place, that they feel welcomed. So if you don't feel that, then let us know. We'll work on that. So 1 Million Cups is an entrepreneur support group. We have almost 200 groups nationwide that meet every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. So the idea is that across the country, every Wednesday at 9 o'clock, we have 1 million entrepreneurs sitting down to a free cup of coffee, listening to another entrepreneur share their journey. And we have a sheet that's almost always on the back table here about a town hall. So town halls are when we take a moment or a whole section of a regular Wednesday meeting and we talk about exactly what 1 million cups is. We kind of deep dive into the pillars. It's through the Kauffman Foundation. So this actually was started by a local group. They opened the chapter through the 1 Million Cups organization. So they applied, and I think September will be our 8th year in Colorado Springs as a 1 Million Cups community. So we'll try to do something special in September. So again, long story short, 1 Million Cups is an entrepreneur support group. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're definitely in the right place. If you support entrepreneurs, you're in the right place. If you think someday you might want to be an entrepreneur, you're in the right place. My name's Samantha Sargent. I'm one of the organizers here with 1 Million Cups. I think actually last month was my 4-year anniversary of being a part of this organization. So thanks. I love it. And after COVID, this is still the only networking group that I come to because I'm very busy. So this community has really kept me going and I find all the resources that I need. So again, Samantha Sargent. And then a lot of times people, okay, actually I'm going to ask all the organizers, can you guys come to the front with me this morning? People have questions. They want to know not quite who's in charge, but because none of us are really in charge, I think. We are in charge together. So we all have different roles. We are, you're up here too, Kevin, can you go? We volunteer 3 to 5 hours a week to help run this event and to keep everything going. So we all have different roles, but I just wanted you to see who we all are together. So if you have questions, you can ask any of us, and you can give them a hand for being here this morning too. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry. What? Sure, we can do that real quick. You go ahead and I'm kind of off today, so just say your name and go ahead, Jane. Or Flip.
Philip Aguilera, organizer.
Hi, I'm Jane. I do most of the Facebook, Instagram kinds of social media.
And I'm Kevin. I do this stuff.
My train of thought is all over today, so I'm just going to keep going with it. That's why I have my checklist most of the time, but we get to be a little bit off the cuff today because we don't have to stick strictly to the 6 and the 20-minute pieces. Oh, yeah, so people, when we MC, we all rotate being the MC. So when we do that, a lot of people are always like, what does that person do? They know we're a volunteer, but it's important that when we are the MC, that not only you know our name, but you know what we do as well. So pay attention to that each time. So if you're like, well, what does that person do? What does that person do? Go ask them. But also when they're the MC, we are like the sponsor for the day. So we get our 30 seconds. We actually get 45 seconds. To say who we are and what we do. And I don't usually take that long. But again, Samantha Sargent. My main career is as a doTERRA Wellness Advocate, which is an MLM. I don't own doTERRA, so I can't present on doTERRA, but I do have some other businesses that I do. And I actually wore my logo today. I always covered up with my hair. Is that on the back too? Yeah. So my LLC is Connecting Communities, so I have a few modalities under that umbrella. And my name is Samantha Sargent. My website is samanthasargent.org or connectingcommunity719.com. So you can kind of check me out there if you want. Or again, come talk to me after this and we can get coffee on like a Thursday because we already are having our coffee today, right? While I get to the next piece, I'm going to ask the sponsors to come up. All of our sponsors help support our time, and they get 30 seconds on the mic to say who they are and what they do besides just their title here, because there's always more to what we do than our title, right? So yeah, make your way up, and after they go, we're going to do community announcements first, and then I'll introduce our educational presenter today, and we'll have lots of Q&A, so take notes. You're going to learn a lot about not only what resources are available to our entrepreneur community, but also, you know, there's just so many things you're going to learn today. So go ahead. I'll just let everybody introduce themselves.
Hey guys, my name is Kirsty. I'm owner of the Sleepy Turtle Coffee Co., a mobile coffee shop here in the Springs. I do pop-ups, I do events, I do grand openings, all sorts of stuff. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be in the back.
And hi, everybody. My name is Carla Wink, and I'm with the Better Business Bureau. So we're one of your cup sponsors. So if you guys turn your cup around to the BBB, that's us. And I wanted to say today it's official that the purpose-driven consumer has now outnumbered the value-driven consumer. What that means is, like, I bought fair trade chocolate even like more than 10 years ago at Natural Grocers. Fair trade chocolate is something that is the folks who harvest the cocoa beans, they're ethically treated, the cocoa is sustainable. We are now on the leading edge. The Better Business Bureau is ready to work with those purpose-driven businesses who are also purpose and profit, so it no longer has to be just a nonprofit. There's so much information that I can't cover in 30 seconds, but I want you to know that we have a new seal called the BBB for Good. For more information, you can go to bbb.org. You can ask me too, but go to bbb.org and look up the conscious business, and then you'll get a list of conscious businesses. And also look up Yobel. They're one of our businesses now that are getting the BBB for Good verification seal. All right, Carla Wink with the BBB. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming to support the local entrepreneurs. That's kind of our jam here, so I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the next S. We are a buzzing network of daily business dealings and a creative assortment of referral-based businesses, offering an ever-fluctuating spectrum of facets that each unique professional brings to the space as they spread their wings. So thanks for being here, guys.
I love that our sponsors are here. Just so you know, typically our coffee sponsor, they just drop the coffee and leave, the coffee roaster, but she's always here, which is super helpful. And she has friends that will help if she's camping and things like that. And Judy's always here. She sets up the chairs. Today, I could not do all this movement today, but she's just like this huge, like, she's like 10 people running around doing everything. It's amazing. So Flip is going to lead the way. So if you do have a community announcement, so typically our community announcements, we have some guidelines. We usually like set a 20-second timer so you're not going off like doing a sales pitch during our community announcements. But community announcements are typically free events or events that impact the entrepreneur community. Sometimes they're social events. So if you have anything, or if you have anything else specific, Carla, that's like, the BBB is always doing something. So if you guys have a community announcement, Flip is going to go and then just line up here and share with us that. I'll get in line too. There is. See? Uh-huh. Okay, so Flip's going to start us off.
I'll let 3G start us.
Okay, go ahead.
You were here first. That's fine. But I think you're that awesome.
Save the best for first, huh?
That's right.
Hi guys, my name is Greg Sheldon. Sam and I organize the first Saturday's car show. It is from 7 to 11. It's like a cars and coffee event. It's not really a car show. I should change that. It's come as you want, leave when you want, no entry fee. If you're into cars, you have a child that's into cars, you have a nephew that's into cars, come and take him, because we need to spread this wide open throttle therapy to all the kids and all the teenagers and all the people that don't really have something in their life that is a hobby or a lifestyle that can be productive for them in their lives.
Good morning, everybody. So this Saturday, who knows what's happening this Saturday?
Finally, right? So this Saturday, if you like chicken wings, Best of the West Wing Fest is happening. We have this many restaurants that you get to try all of their wings. Actually, some of the restaurants have more than one. So I think right now we're at 18 wings with your ticket, and you get to decide who makes the best wings in the spring. So that is this Saturday, and a lot of the businesses that I have met through here, like the Alzheimer's Association will be there, doTERRA will be there. There's so many good things. We have family fun zone, lots of music, and of course, wings and beer. So that's this Saturday. In 2 Wednesdays from now, Nerd Night. If you like to nerd out and also drink beer at Kawadi, you can do that. And then the last Monday of the month, which is August 29th, we have Memoirs, True Stories Unfiltered, which now Carla is a Memoirs alumni. So if you would like to know more about any of this, come tap me on the shoulder. Thank you.
So Flip, I think we'll be able to hear you from there. I'm really grateful that Wingfest is from noon to 8, right? Because I know I cannot eat 18 wings in even one setting. But if someone gets there at noon, right, they can just get half and take their little notes and then play for 3-4 hours and then eat the rest of the wings and then vote. When is voting due by? 6 o'clock. So you have 6 hours to eat 18 wings. I would need that time because, yeah. But yeah, that sounds fun. And then, so my community announcements, if anyone else has one, feel free to come up. This weekend, who has a dog? Who loves their dog? Yes, that's like all Colorado people, I feel like. Saturday and Sunday at the Norris Penrose Event Center, it's called Dog Days of Summer. There's shows, there's competitions, it's just a full house of everything dog related. And then some other pet stuff too. So if you don't have a dog but you have other pets, there will be a little bit of that going on as well. So you guys all saw the organizers. So if you are a first timer, if today's your first day, we want to welcome you. Please raise your hand so we all know who we can come say hi to. Beautiful. And I know that Thrive invited you to be here today. How do you guys want to shout out? Thrive the same? And then you too? Carla invited you. Beautiful. And that's how it goes. So, and how did you? George Pennington, right on. He can't be here today, but he's probably watching live, so good to know. And yeah, I just tell people, most people here aren't very shy, so just, walk up and just start talking to someone, and we're all here to help each other, so that's what the support is all about. The one sponsor that isn't here at the moment, so if Nico comes in later, he's the one that paid for the coffee. So he writes the check to Sleepy Turtle Coffee. So Nico is the owner of Growing Guru. He's a landscaper, and he also owns a nonprofit that feeds into that. So he would normally have 30 seconds to say something there, and he might do that at the end, but maybe that's his 30 seconds right there from my voice, ventriloquist way here. And then, Sandy, are you going to want to hold the mic? It doesn't have to be on this.
Actually, if the podium moves.
It does move. So I'll just leave that there, but you can pull it off. So it is my honor to introduce our business. This is our Colorado Springs, our Pikes Peak Library business librarian. This is Sandy Hancock.
Yeah, that should work. Can everybody hear me okay? I can usually talk pretty loud too,
It's
so.
the online
Okay,
people that
the
need to
online
hear you.
people. All right.
Okay, try that.
Okay. Is that good? Okay. So again, my name is Sandy Hancock. I'm the business librarian for the Pikes Peak Library District. Did you all know we had a business librarian? Yes, some of you know. So yay. We also have a law librarian, a nonprofit librarian, and a bunch of other people, who work tirelessly at the library to help people connect with the information needs that you may have. So just a little bit, PPLD's been around for a long time, and we have evolved from just checking out books to going more into services. A lot of people don't always understand that we now provide ebooks. We have a great makerspace. That'll be, I think, in a couple weeks. Our makerspace people and our studio people will be here to talk about all the different things that you can make and create in the library. And let's see, nonprofit. We do have a nonprofit resource room and our nonprofit resource librarian. So if you are a nonprofit and you're interested in starting a nonprofit, she's a great resource for that. We just updated our mission, vision, and values statement. So if you're interested, those are up there. And again, just a little bit of history. We did start as like a one-room book exchange place by some of the founding, basically, mothers of Colorado Springs who wanted to bring more literature into this area. So started out as one little building and then eventually grew. There are 2 Carnegie Libraries within PPLD. There's one attached to the Penrose Library, which now houses our special collections and genealogy, and then the Old Colorado City branch is also a Carnegie Library. Oh, and Manitou, actually, that library is under renovation, and the Manitou Library is now housed in the Manitou Arts Center. So again, another great collaboration where you can go and use your library card to use the MAC. So we're out there and around. What I want to do today, as far as businesses go, I want to walk you through the resources that we have right now for everyone to use. I'm also always available to set up appointments whenever you feel like you need additional help. I do have business cards there, and then if you're interested, you can always, and my information's up here as well. So to get to the business resources, if you start at PPLD and click on research, and just find business here and click on that. And this is going to take you to basically, this is the research guide for all things business. BizBytes just has information. I do have a call out right now for a new program that we're trying to pilot, Entrepreneur in Residence. So it's going to be an entrepreneur in the area who has a commitment to helping other entrepreneurs also grow their business. It'll be a resource that will, sorry, I keep hearing it, so I back up. So just to assist entrepreneurs in our area. So if you know anyone who's interested, there is a link right here to the application. If you're interested, please feel free. Again, this is a new program, so there are other libraries across the country who have done this, and it's been a really successful program. So really hoping that this takes off and that we can get someone in again to help support entrepreneurs and small business owners in our area. One of the things that we do provide are databases. We have quite a few databases that are specific to business. They fall under a variety of different categories. This first page just lists all of them. So you can see it's quite a long list. But if you look over here, you'll see that they're broken down into pieces. So if you are just new to starting a business and you wanted to do that, we do have this Plan Builder, which is a really good place to start for budding entrepreneurs because it actually walks you through the whole process of basically who you are, why you want to do this, the ideation stage. It does have some worksheets in there for finances, and then at the end, it will help you to build your business plan as well as a pitch deck. So great place to go if you're just starting out or if you know someone who is really looking for one place to put everything. Business Entrepreneurship is going to be basically education. It's links to articles on different business-related topics. And then we also have a database full of legal forms. So if you're starting an LLC or another type of business, you can get in there and look up different legal forms. There are contracts for, like I was working with a guy who's starting a drywall business. So it actually had all the forms that he needed too. So, you know, how to do a bid and things like that. So it's just filled with every legal form that you can think of that you might possibly need. And again, business plans. I told you about the plan builder. We also have the business plans handbook, which is filled with sample business plans of people who have started business, and these were the plans that they created. We also have the Gale Directory Library, so if you're looking for an association or something like that, that's there as well. Marketing and demographics, I think this is where our strength is as far as like databases go. We do have Data Axle, which is an awesome database for marketing information. You can find businesses on there. So if you are starting a business, you can put your business in there, select Colorado Springs, and it will actually show you a map of where all those other businesses that are similar to yours are located. So it's a great place if you're looking for a brick and mortar to go in there and look at to see if there are holes in the area. You can also create marketing lists from there, so you can go in there and create mailing lists for people. They do have an email list option, but that does need to be purchased through Data Axle. But it has just a variety of different ways to search for information. You know, if you're in renovation or landscaping, there's a new homeowners listing in there, so you can find people who have moved into neighborhoods recently, so you can create a list off of that. And what's really great about this database too is that it will break Colorado Springs down in, or any area, into neighborhoods. And I found that fascinating because I had no idea we had so many identified neighborhoods in Colorado Springs. But it's really valuable if you're just looking to really target one specific place. Demographics now is also used for marketing and demographic information. They pull their information from the census. So a lot of times you can get the same information from a census report. This is just easier to navigate. Okay, they also have what they call mosaics or profiles, so you can go in there and look at the different demographics that live within a certain population, and it breaks them down into things like, you know, aging with grace, or, you know, people with tots. So, and then it gives you kind of their spending habits and the profile of that person. Green File is a collection of articles that are specific to the environment and sustainability, basically anything green right now. So I know a lot of people are really looking, like you were talking about with the social entrepreneurship. So it's a great place to find some background information on different industries in that way. We just got these marketing reports. So it says Robert K. Miller and Associates. So they're just annual, it's like an ebook or a report. They're not super long, but it does give you information about all of those different topics nationwide. It doesn't really break them down into Colorado Springs, and but it is a good source if you're looking for more industry trends and information. You know, they have like sports and marketing, travel and tourism, so these are great marketing reports to refer back to. And then periodicals, we get newspapers. We also have a huge array of electronic books and magazines. So, you know, if you're paying for Entrepreneur Inc., for instance, you can get it free through the library, and you just have to access it on a device. So, you know, you can just pull it up and start looking at it on your phone if you're waiting in line, or if you're at home with your tablet. So a lot of different ways to access a lot of our information. Yeah, yay! Thank you. Business collection again, books. It's gonna ebooks, newspapers. So again, we do. Bless you. Yes, we do have access to other newspapers that you can read on a daily basis. And we also do have some reference books in our collection. So some of the industry trend books we do have in print format. And those would be at it's the Robert Morrison RMA books, if you're interested at Penrose and at 21C. For entrepreneurs, these are some groups. I should put 1 million cups in here. Every time I do this, I know it's like, oh, I need to add this, need to add that. So these are just some links. Hub is a new online resource, so you can go in there, you create an account with your business, and you have access to a lot of the resources in Colorado Springs. SourceLink is, again, another place where you can go and see like a lot of the events that are listed, so you can go in there and like all the events that you were talking about today can be added into that, so people have one place to go to look at all of the events in Colorado Springs and the Pikes Peak region. I put this in here, Open for Biz Colorado Springs. Again, if you're looking to start a business, this is a great place to go. This is from the Colorado Springs Chamber and Economic Development Center, but it does walk you through all the different steps. Also, the Secretary of State also has that same walkthrough process if you need to start a business. And then the Economic Development Office for Colorado Springs is also a great resource for, if you have a question about what type of licensing you might need. So it's another great place to go to learn more information about what you need to start a business in Colorado Springs. We're a learning institution. We're all about learning at the library. So we also have LinkedIn Learning for our library card holders. So if you, they have so many different classes. I have taken so many different classes through there, but if you go through our website, you put your library card and your PIN number in, it will give you free access to all the LinkedIn library classes. And one of the cool things about LinkedIn Learning, what I found too, is that they do offer classes in probably about 12 different languages. So, and they have native speakers doing the classes. So it's also a really good place to go if you know someone who may not have English as a first language or and they want to listen to it in their native language. There are a ton of business classes in there that and others too, but I was looking at business. So it was good to find that. Custom guide, well, if you think your Excel skills are a little rusty and you want to build them up, you can go in there. We have Mango Languages, so if you want to learn a different language, that's also there. The Peterson's test prep is really great. If you have high school students, you can take a sample SAT, it does sample GREs, does sample LSTATs, GMATs, so you can go in and see really how hard you need to study. When I did the sample GRE, it was like, yeah, I need to study. And then I found a school that didn't require it. So, yay. But that is there. And then they also have the books the study guides. They also do ASVAB. They do military tests, sample tests in there as well. So it's like you're actually taking the test. So you have to walk through the process. So, it's a great resource. And then just some tutorials, but I'm going to pop back just to the home page. So all of these are also research guides that are specific to whatever that topic is. So you can go in there and you see they're set up the same, and it will give you information, again, resources. So as you go through each one of these, it will break down the information into more bite-sized pieces for you. So again, that's on the main business resource page, and if you just scroll down, it's there, and you'll find links to all of these on a lot of different pages, just so that you can, if something sparks your interest, you can really go down that rabbit hole too. Okay, so that's pretty much kind of our resources in a nutshell. For business. Again, creative services is coming in, so I'm not going to go too far into that because they're going to go into it much more in depth. And I do have just this sheet that also has those if you're interested in that, and business cards up here too. Okay. So does anyone have any questions, or do you want me to deep dive into anything? Thank you.
Thank you for being here, Sandy. I have the mic. I have watched on Facebook, and when people don't use the mic for questions, it's very hard to follow. So just let me know you have a question, and I'll come to you. I think the biggest thing that I always take away when I talk to the business librarian or any librarian is that, I mean, these resources are so great online. So if you're savvy and you can do it, you can go right here and just do it yourself, but you're also available.
Right.
I'm a rule follower, so I tend to ask, what's the limit? So, like, how much time can I have of yours a week? Like 1 hour, a month, a week? Because we can schedule time with you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I usually do just 1 hour appointments and just set them up as needed. There's some people I work with multiple times. Other people are just in and out. I show them and they're like, great, boom, gone. So it's flexible. I'm flexible. Again, my contact information is always here. You can call or email, and we'll set up a time. I can do meetings virtually. I can also meet you somewhere and try to get a study room if there's one available. I am usually at the Penrose Library. That's my home library. But I do travel.
I have can you hear me?
Yes.
I have a question pertaining to the posting on there. For instance, Wingfest this coming Saturday here. What does it look like for traction? Are you able to see how many people are coming in there to see there are events and there are learning opportunities or whatnot?
I didn't know to put the Wingfest in the library, so I don't know that it's there.
Are you talking about SourceLink?
Yeah, I was just
Okay.
Are there basically just my Google Analytics? Can you guys track who comes to your site? Oh, yeah, no, it's okay.
So Sandy, if as an event person, if we have something going on and we submit that, what's the criteria?
You know, okay. I haven't this just started, like, seriously, this and Hub started pretty much the same week, about 2 weeks ago. I've been kind of trying to do more with the Hub just because it's more stuff to figure out. It should be a fairly...
Well, we'll test it out for you,
Yeah,
right? I know I certainly will. I'll add that to my list and start posting things that fit the criteria, and then that'll be a question for next time, right?
Yes, and thank you for bringing that up, because I'll be honest, I really haven't played with this too much. This is funded through, I think SourceLink is the vendor, and they offered it free to Colorado Springs. There's someone from the SBDC who I think independently has been working with them to get this set up. I actually thought there was just a link to just do it, but...
And yeah, Sandy, that's why we have, so actually I'm going to come up front real quick.
Yeah, because it does have business events here that are loaded. And so, like, a lot of these are SBDC, but if you click on them, it takes you there. And then you can register because, oh, there you go, submit your event.
Right on.
Okay.
And well, I just wanted to mention that's, Entrepreneur Support Group. This is a brand new system. You need people to test it. You need people to ask you questions. So
yes.
When you're up here on the stage carpet, it's not just, what you can give to the community. It's what we can give back as well. So testing that and asking those questions, that's exactly why we're here. And I did mean to say this before I introduce you, but has everyone gotten the emails? You know that the whole month of August, we're partnering with the library. So we have a librarian coming each week. We do still have some, standard presenters and one other educational piece that's shared on a particular day. And then on the 31st, we're field trip style to Library 21C. So all the librarians that Sandy has invited, and she reserved the venue for us, so that's where we'll meet. And we'll do a beginning like we normally would for 1 Million Cups, and then the librarians are going to take charge and show us whatever we want to see within Library 21C, and kind of have that time to meet one-on-one with them if that, you know, evolves to what we need. So we're going to do this every year, and so keep those things in mind as we progress through August, okay? Yeah.
I'm gonna just, I don't know that all the librarians will be there that day. No. I will be there, and then someone from Creative Services will be there for the tour. Yeah, so.
All right, I got one more for you.
Okay.
So speaking to tracking new residents coming into the community here, are you also tracking businesses? A new business came up on this strip mall, and here's what it is, and here's what they provide. Is that also in there?
It might be. So Data Axle gets their information through the post office and secretaries of state and some other resources, and then they verify the information through a call center that they have. So sometimes new businesses, there is a new businesses database in there as well. Let me just pop over there real quick.
Has anyone in the audience used some of the business resources through the library yet? Awesome. If you guys, that can be part of your question / education for the community. If you want to share what you've used and how it helped your business, that is welcome during this time as well.
Okay, so if you're doing this at home at some point, because I already logged in this morning, it's still keeping my library card and PIN number in there. You will need a library card that starts with a 4 and your PIN number to access these databases from home. But you'll see here it's got new businesses also. So you can always go in there and check to see. So you can do it by industry, or you can actually look to see specifically by the company name right here and see what information they have listed. If it is a new company, the information that will be in there will be estimates of costs and projections, because they may not have verified that yet. As you go through, you'll see if we're going to do like a keyword search. You can put in that keyword, and then it will bring up, more specifics, so you can select which ones you want. They populate down there. City State gives you Colorado Springs proper. If you go to the metro area, it's going to take into account Woodland Park, Fountain, Monument, so it will give you a broader range. But
And Sandy, what you mentioned in the beginning, when you first started sharing with us, you said something about a new program. Is that a job opening that the Pikes Peak Library District has, or?
It's a contract position that we're starting, so it is new. We've never done this before. We've done makers in residence, so it's based kind of on that premise as well. So it's a 3-month contract position. It is a paid contract position, but really wanting to get an entrepreneur who's been through the ropes in. Since I have not started a business, sometimes, a lot of my knowledge is book learned. So I think it'll be great to have this supplement to what we already have, with a level of expertise that I think people will be happy to have.
Definitely. Yeah. There's, I'll bring in you the mic, Carla. But there's definitely a lot of people in the entrepreneur community that would like to help, and to get paid would be even better.
Yeah, and we're always looking for, if you have something that you would like to present, a class that would help other entrepreneurs and small business owners, I'm always open for anybody who, you know, wants to teach a class too. We'll set up space and everything for you. But just going back, you'll see this is a newer business. So when you do the new business, it doesn't give you a lot of information. But if we did the regular database with older, more established businesses, you'll see it has a lot more information in there.
Okay, Sandy, I'm very, very impressed with your presentation, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I have a question, and I wasn't sure whether to ask it or not, but then I noticed that the SBDC does put quite a bit on your website as well.
Mhm.
Do you guys partner with the SBDC? And where my question is also coming from, just so you know, being a sales manager at
Yeah.
the Better Business Bureau, I work with small businesses, brand new businesses all the time, and I tend to refer them to the SBDC, but I can now also refer them to the library. But what would be the main difference maybe that I would explain to them? It sounds like everything that you guys offer is free. Like the SBDC will start out with a few free things, but then they have to pay for everything else.
Yeah.
And I noticed business plans, for example, you've got a free class or at least free information about that, but how else would it be best for me to then refer you guys?
It's really interesting because we do have a really great small business and entrepreneurial ecosystem here. I see myself, my role, and the library's role as kind of a connector to a lot of the other resources in Colorado Springs. So, and that's why I share a lot of the other information on here, like talking about like social entrepreneurship. You know, I always mess up what the social impact. Yes, the Jonathan's group. So I try to also, when people come to me, there are things that I can't give them advice on. So a lot of times I will send them to whatever group. You know, like I had a guy who says he has this new idea for an electric car that can drive across the country on one charge. And, you know, so more tech related. So Exponential Impact was like a good place for him to go to talk to other people who have that technical background in that technical field. So, you know, where I can provide, you know, the marketing information, like these are other companies that do something similar to yours. I like to have all those other connections also, but, you know, and like you said, like SBDC, I get a lot of people from them who need marketing help or the business plan help. So we try to complement each other. It's not a competition, but more just complementary services, because a lot of us do the same thing as other groups. So it's really good, I think, to have that really broad network and, you know, just knowing what all of us are doing, because, you know, I think it's fascinating too, because sometimes I'll find out that like BBE is doing stuff that I had no clue, so then I can put something on here. Yes, that would be great, because even like the Economic Development Center for the city, I actually didn't know that existed until recently, and then we connected, so now we can share our resources on each other's websites so that, you know, people understand, oh, well, I can go here for this too. So, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I was out at 21C all day yesterday for a meeting, and then two different meetings, one for the Chamber Ambassadors and then another one for a event that we're going to be holding in October. It's an employer forum.
Mhm.
I work with people with disabilities. I have a person I'm working with right now that's deaf, and he is starting his own business. How would you be set up for, if he were to come down, would you have interpreters available for him to research some of this? And are your websites ADA compliant for somebody who's visually impaired? Are you set up for having like JAWS and all the different accommodations for somebody who's visually impaired?
Our website should be accessible. Okay. And we do have I know we have JAWS on a lot of the computers at 21C. I don't know specifically which ones, but I do know that some of them are ADA compliant, but not all of them. We just lost our ADA librarian, so they're going to be looking to rehire that position as well. Right now we don't have interpreters. I'm not sure. That would fall under our EDI group. So I'm not sure if they've set up stuff. That's a newer service area that we've started. So I apologize. I'm not exactly sure, but that definitely gives me something that I need to look into. So.
And I do know, because I've seen it with a couple people that I work with, it is the law. So if someone has a need, as long as they give 2 weeks or more notice, then they are connected to the right person. So if the library doesn't have an ADA person right now, the person that has the special need can get that connection made. But they have to give adequate time. They can't say, hey, I'm coming tomorrow, and here's the number. That's not fair of them. So even if the library doesn't have resources, the person with the special needs knows their piece, and so they should be able to make that connection too.
Yeah, and if you have specific questions, I can always get you the contact information for our EDI director. Thank you.
Hi, Sandy. Thanks for all that you do for the small business community. I think most of us are entrepreneurs here and can utilize the services that the SBDC and the library put on. I've used the library for the Minding Your Business with the legendary Terry Zarsky. Is that a role that you've stepped into? And is Reference USA still available to us?
Okay, so Data Axle is the new name for Reference USA. Yeah, it had a name change a while ago. So yes, it is still there.
Thank you so much for this information. I appreciate it. So one of the things that I was wondering, as far as with when you're submitting your events, is that like for networking / community only, or is it also paid events? Because I don't think I saw that there.
You know, I am actually only sharing the information for this. I'm not exactly sure. I think there was a contact us in there, so I think you would have to contact them. But I think some of them, you know, because I know some of the classes that SBDC puts on are fee-based. So I'm thinking as long as it's business-related, possibly. So, Oh, and Terry retired. Sorry, I meant to say that. So she retired in 2020, and yeah, I started in 2020, which was a really weird time to start a job. So I'm just feeling like I'm getting my feet under me now. So, thank you.
And we hope that you'll be a regular attendee at 1 Million Cups, because I'm going to go ahead and ask the special question that we have, because all of our presenters, whether they're the educator or a new business, is what can we as a Colorado Springs business community do to help you? I think we've already kind of talked about some of those things, but what can we do to help you as the business librarian? What can we do to help the library? We know that we can give feedback, and it will just elevate everything that you're doing. So I don't know if you have an answer for that, but that's
I actually
question.
do. As the entrepreneur community, I do want to start setting up more specific type classes or workshops or events that would help support all of you. So if you have ideas, just email me and let me know what you would like to see. Because I think that's really important, is to also know what the broader community would also like to see from the library. Yeah.
Just a quick tidbit. I live up in Palmer Lake, Colorado, and we do have a tiny little community library, which is actually under threat of not being utilized enough. So if we don't get enough utilization of it, then it's going to be shut down again, which is so sad because we just went under this huge construction for a new handicap ramp. And I talked to one of the mothers in my neighborhood, and she says, Well, the Monument Library is not a bunch further and it's got a lot more resources. So what would be your guys' stipulations or standards to bring more resources to a small little community library, which would in turn get more people to come and kind of interact? Would it be more employees? Would it be more things to do, little groups, or, you know, like the library up by Rock Rimmon always has like little kid classes, which I think is great for bringing in community. So what would be the stipulations or necessary things from the community for a library to have more things to do?
I would talk to Jean is the library manager at Monument, but she's also the Palmer Lake manager. Like many other businesses right now, we are understaffed, and until we get more fully staffed, sometimes it's harder, you know, to send people out for different programming. But I would get in touch with Jean and, you know, say, is it possible to get a story time here once, you know, a week or something, and just see what the feasibility is. I know that because UPass sometimes has the same issues, you know, that they're smaller and they're not staffed quite as well. So and because I think Monument is closer to Palmer Lake, location-wise, they may say, well, you know, right now this is what we can do. I don't remember. I want to say I thought Palmer Lake used to have story time. Prior to COVID, but there, you know, some services and some programs have been limited since then, and we're, you know, still trying to build up. But again, staffing is always an issue, and that's really one of the hard parts right now, is because we are understaffed. So it's finding someone who can go there. But Jean would be the person to talk to. Yeah, you're welcome.
I don't see anyone else raising their hand, but we do have time for more questions. I was going to see if you could talk a second, Sandy, about when the library is very involved in the community too. So you're inviting us to come to the library, give the ideas, do this and that, but also you guys come out to events and do different education. Specifically as the business librarian, do you want to share with us some of the staple events that you get out to help people realize the library is a resource for them?
Yeah, I mean, SBDC events, of course, like Small Business Week. That was a big event. I do go to chamber meetings. I can't go to all of them all the time, but I do try to get to chamber events. And just a lot of what I've been doing this year, though, is really just trying to meet the people in the community who are doing different things, because there's so many different entrepreneur groups. So it is working to build those connections, and then as some of these other things start to fall in place, then it will be more regular events. But right now, I wouldn't say there's like one regular event. Okay.
Right.
So.
I know the SBDC stuff, the Small Business Week, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
And just so you know, as 1 Million Cups organizers, a few of us have talked about for many years now doing a 1 Million Cups Expo where all the entrepreneurs can set up a booth and educate about what they do. We're just kind of, you know, we're volunteers, so our capacity is what it is, and it will grow as people step up and say, hey, let me help you lead that. So if that's on your heart, go ahead. I'm going to let Star ask a question and then come back to you, too.
Hi, thank you for your time. I appreciate the information. Where would we go from the main website to find all the resources that you explained today?
So this is the main page. So always start at ppld.org, and you'll click on research and then business. Okay, and then you can just find everything from there. And I think you'll find that with everybody else who's coming as well. It's always going to be PPLD research, you know, because you'll see law, nonprofit. So it's going to connect you there. And if you do happen to hit like research home, it will take you to this page, which gives you all sorts of other topics. Oh, this is kind of cool, just while I'm thinking about it. We did just get Consumer Reports website, if you're interested. I like to get their weekly updates to know what I need to buy.
Okay, so another question, Sandy, for you or for anybody really. I have a new business who is looking for help in grant writing. Do you help with that or have connections for grant writing?
Our nonprofit librarian would be a good resource to go to just talk about grant writing. They do tend to, she does tend to be more specific to just nonprofit grant writing, but I also have a contact I can give you. I'll have to look it up. If I get your contact information, I can email it. She's a contract grant writer, but she's expressed interest in helping people more with business. So there's that. And then the grants.gov.
And while you're doing that, Sandy, yeah, I like it.
I know, right?
I don't know. Oh, was that on your computer? Yeah.
I know. It's like, is that like cutoff time?
No, that would be great. That would be a cool
But
way to end.
there was someplace else where I saw tutorials. I just need to think about where I saw them.
So today's August 3rd, and next week is the 10th. Is next week the nonprofit, or is that the law librarian next week?
Next week is Deb, the law librarian,
Okay.
and then
the 17th
week after
is the following week.
Will be Katie. Yeah, or no, Katie's later in the month. I think the next week is creative, and then nonprofit.
Oh, is the creative going next week?
Yes, but all of our information is on the website, and you can contact us anytime.
Schedule time
Yeah.
then, or come ready with all those questions. Again, invite those people specifically that have law needs. And I think we all know as entrepreneurs that we kind of have to do it first. We don't have the resources always in the beginning to hire lawyers, to hire and all these other pieces. So if we can do it ourselves, then as we scale, we know the value of paying someone else to do it, because it's really hard. So you might have to invest a lot of time in the beginning, or if you have the capital to do it, then pay somebody. But then if you have a little bit of knowledge about what they're doing, then you're guarding yourself, because there are a lot of people that will say they know what they're doing, and you pay them a lot of money and you don't have anything to show for it at the end of that. So we're here as well to support you for that, to make sure you don't get caught in those pieces where you just wasted all your money and now your business is closed because you have to do something else. So yeah, I'll just recap. August 3rd is today. Next week is the 10th, the 17th, and the 24th. We will be here with a different librarian each week. And then on the 31st, we'll be at Library 21C. Did you have any? I think that's all of our questions. I think we're super close to 10 o'clock. So let's give Sandy a hand. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you all.
Can I hold this mic close to this one? Yeah. Okay. So stay right there, Sandy.
Okay.
So I don't know if Sandy knows this or not, but so this is like a mini piece that we would do in a town hall. So again, we're funded by the Kauffman Foundation. So they provide our mugs, they provide all the content, and we have like a back office so that we can have a professional email setting for emails and things every week. Anyways, they have funding for our cups. So every time we have an educator, or when you're a first-time presenter or an update presenter, we get to give you a handy mug that you can use all the time. So thank you for being here today,
Thank
Sandy.
you.
There is your mug.
Great. I needed one.
Right? Well, you've got this one for your other
for
things,
my
and then
coffee,
this
one
one
for my water.
Right?
Yes.
And you can bring your own cups too. But yeah, I know you have your things to take down over here. Nico is here, so he again is our coffee sponsor. He paid for the coffee today. So come on up and give us 30 seconds and let us know what you do.
Sweet. Hello, I'm Nico. I go by the Growing Guru, and I run a eco-friendly landscaping company, which is right now focused on fertilizing trees, trimming trees, bushes, And specifically, it is planting season for all those gardeners and plant experts or plant enthusiasts like myself. So if you need any help, feel free to contact me. I have some cards in the back. Sweet.
And I'm sorry, I should have told Sandy she was able to put her resources on all the tables today. So they'll be here the whole month. But next week, we'll make sure to put them on all the tables so you can take those resources and have all the librarians' info so you can call them and make your appointments and things like that. Nico's also an organizer. He just got here a little bit late. And then I just wanted to mention that also missing today are George, Jenna, and Paul. So Paul let us know that he's got food truck on the horizon, so, or a truck for his pizza thing. So it's fun to watch people hit those goals. So he shared that with us today. So I'll share that with you guys too. I think that is everything. We can usually end with like an amazing quote or something, but I didn't use my cheat sheet today, so I have nothing for that. But it's past 10 o'clock now, so I'll let you guys mingle. Judy lets us stay in here 30, 40 minutes or so. So feel free to mingle, meet the people that you heard asking questions, or get anything done that you need to get done today. Thank you guys for being here, and we will see you every Wednesday at 9 o'clock.